Hi, good morning. In this demo, I want to showcase how companies can use or leverage Active Directory B2C as an identity broker for authenticating and authorizing its users. The company that we are looking at is Saml.store that wants to authenticate and authorize its users. Uh, the organization or the user look as real, right, belongs to the organization bensuraj.com. Now they use Google as their identity provider. Now this user loop wants to access the application, enterprise application written in Golang that sits behind this company, Saml.store's IAM solution, right? Internal IAM solution that they use for providing authentication and authorization services to its internal applications, right? Which it, what I'm trying to say is all enterprise applications or all applications inside this organization, Saml.store, use Keycloak for its user authentication and authorization, right? Now, how this is set up is in Azure Active Directory B2C, the Keycloak service is onboarded as a service provider. And this organization, bensuraj.com, the customer organization, is onboarded as an OpenID Connect compliant identity provider. Without much delay, I will go straight into the demo, right? So this is the enterprise application which Luke, I'm going to pretend that I'm Luke now. As Luke, I want to access the application which belongs to the organization Saml.store, right? And I'm going to use, I'm not going to key in my username and password. I don't want to do that. Rather, I want to use my company, bensuraj.com's identity provider. Use that to authenticate myself to this enterprise application. I'm going to click on sign in. Let me clear, and I'm going to use a tool for sniffing the SAML requests and responses assertions. Right. When I click on sign in, you'll notice that I will be redirected to Keycloak service, right, which is hosted in SAML.store. There is an option, Azure Active Directory B2C, because this B2C is onboarded as an identity provider in Keycloak. I will show that after the demo is complete. Let me click on this. Now this, when I click on Azure Active Directory B2C, I'll be redirected to B2C's login page, right? You will see this. There is a SAML authentication request that is sent to B2C, right? Now I'm going to use Google for signing in. Luke is the this is my account, Google account, my enterprise account. I'm going to click login. I'll be redirected back to B2C and then back to the application, right? I'm logged in, right? I'll also complete the logout flow and then I will go on to explaining the SAML session. When I click on logout, I'll be taken back to, yeah, I want to log out, yes. I should be taken to the B2C's logout page. Thing that happened behind the scenes. Right, so I'm logged out. Now let me go through these SAML requests and assertions that we received, right? When I clicked on login, there was a SAML authentication request that was sent from Keycloak to Azure Active Directory B2C. Now if you see, this is the ID of the authentication request. This is the, there should be an issuer somewhere here. Yeah, I have to find the issuer. Yeah, this is the issuer, I'm sorry. Yeah. So this is the issuer, that is, who is issuing this authentication request. Now the protocol binding states, how do we make these SAML requests? Is it via post or via redirects? If this is a post, it will be basically just a post REST call with the SAML request encoded as base64 encoded will be the data to the post request for the post request. On the other hand, if it were HTTP-redirect, the SAML request, the SAML XML, the authentication request XML, will be base64 encoded and then URL encoded and will be appended to the URL as a query string, right? But it's post, so we are sending this as post data. Now the destination, where is this authentication request headed to? It is to the B2C's login page, right? What is the assertion consumer URL? This is the redirect. That is, once a B2C has authenticated its users, where should it send back the assertion to? Now, Our key cloak service comes with an assertion consumer service, which will receive the assertions for this one. Then we have something another. It comes with its signature uh, and the name ID policy. Now this signifies how do we how do I want to identify the user? What is that unique value that I want to identify the user with? We will look into that when we come to the assertion. So this is the authentication request. Now, if I look at the next one, you will see this is the response that came from the issuer. Here, in this case, it would be B2C, right? Now, I'll show this in the SAML app one. That is this is an application, a custom application that is created in Azure Active Directory B2C, which will act as the SAML identity provider, or I would say the SAML application which interfaces with the Keycloak service provider. If you see, some key things are it says the destination is the assertion consumer service URL, the Keycloak service URL, in response to the specific request. Now, if you come here, the authentication request bears the ID EB95E, and in response to the same EB95E, right? It's going to have its own ID as well, right? This is the issuer of the response to the authentication request that Keycloak had sent. It has its own signature, the certificates, and if we come down, we will see some useful information about the subject or the principal, the user that we are trying to authenticate, right? Let's look at, right, their name, their given name, Luke, surname, the email address, and who's their identity provider, etc. Right? And then when I clicked on sign out, it sent out a logout request. Again, it had its own ID, the destination, to logout endpoint of the SAML application that we had created in B2C, who is the issuer of the logout request, that is Keycloak, signature, certificates, and then who do we want to log out, right? I think I missed this in the previous. So this is the unique identifier for the user, I guess. So let's find that in the assertion that we had received. E44F. I'm able to find it. Okay, for some reason I'm not able to find that specific key value pair. Okay, sorry about that. So in response to the logout request, we receive another assertion, right? In the same format. There is an in response to the logout request. Where is the destination for this response? It is the assertion consumer service again of Keycloak's ACS URL, right? Where is it coming from? Who is issuing this assertion or the logout confirmation response, right? Signature, certificates, and then finally the status code that the logout was a success. Now, going over to Azure Active Directory, how is this set up? Right, let's me go to ADB2C. If you look at it, I'll start with the identity provider. So we looked at this, that Luke belongs to an organization, bensuresh.com, and this organization uses Google as their identity provider, right? So we have onboarded Luke's organization as an OpenID Connect identity provider. And this, right, SAML.store application, the service provider application running Keycloak, is onboarded as a SAML application in Active Directory B2C. Unfortunately, Azure Active Directory B2C does not come with SAML by default. So you have to create custom, to support SAML flows, you have to create custom policies. A pain to work with, to be honest, right? So to create a custom policies that define the flow user journeys. And then this is the application, right? We saw that, right, in the authentication request. It is this application that is acting kind of like a broker, or which is making the SAML, which is accepting the authentication request and also responding with the assertions, right? SAML app one. This is what we saw in our the entity, the entity that is issuing the responses, be it the logout response or the assertion response to the authentication request. And in Keycloak, let me open Keycloak service. The enterprise application authenticates its users via OIDC again. So I've created a client. Now, the standard OIDC protocol we use is used in the Golang application for authenticating the user, right? Yep. And here in the user section, you can see that Luke is created in Keycloak service, right? When they're logged in, you can see their sessions here. And if I go to identity providers, I have created this SAML application, SAML1 app1, as an identity provider in Keycloak. Now, there is a metadata URL that is given. This is the metadata URL. Yeah, if you see. This is my tenant. Again, the tenant again. The custom policy that I've written, B2C one is sign up, sign in SAML. I'll go to that again. Yeah, this policy. Sign up, sign in policy, SAML policy. SAML P and then the metadata. Now, this contains all the information that the Keycloak service needs for making the authentication and logout requests, right? Again, the identity provider, the entity ID is SAMLAP1. Use post binding as opposed to redirects. Bear in mind, I have turned off validate signatures, otherwise it is not working. That is it, and that also is the end of the demo. Thank you.